Usually my videos are about political or national issues, but this week I cannot think beyond the tragic suicide of the 16-year-old class 10 student in Delhi's elite St. Columba's school. The reason, like it often is, that it hits too close to home. St. Columba's is where my younger brother went to school. My son, like the student who died, is also in class 10 and preparing for his exams, and like him, often comes back by metro after his extra classes. There are all these common strains, and so like so many people hearing this story, we are all just so scared, so terrified of something like this happening to us. So let me first tell you what happened. You may hear many things going around on WhatsApp groups, but I'm basing this on the police FIR and on what authorized personnel are telling our reporters, and not just rumors. Also, I've spoken to a psychologist I really trust about what you and I should be doing. So please watch this video till the end, because there has to be some learning from this tragic incident. But first, the original question. Why are the head teacher and 3 teachers of St. Columba's facing an abetment to suicide charge? Here's why. On Tuesday, 18 November, the 16-year-old left school at Gol Dak Khana in Delhi and headed towards Rajendra Place metro station, his usual mode of getting home. There were just a few days left for school to break because being in class 10, it was almost time for pre-board exams next month before the final board exams in spring. The 16-year-old student, according to the note he left behind, had a lot going on apart from boards. One of 2 siblings, his parents are from Sangli in Maharashtra and they lived in Columba. His father worked in some gold industry. There seems to have been the usual teenage angst at home between him and his 20-year-old brother, and with a worried set of parents, who he says were also very worried that he was vaping. I say that because in his note he says to his father that I know you will never forgive me for vaping and you shouldn't either. But that's not the reason why he committed suicide. The note very clearly names 4 teachers, which includes the headmistress, the SST teacher and academic coordinator, for what he calls forcing him to do this. Written in Hindi, the heartbreaking note found inside his backpack gives his parents numbers so that they can be informed and then ask for action to be taken against the teachers. What did they do? According to the father's complaint to the police, the teachers picked on their child and induced mental harassment. The FIR notes that on the day he died, one teacher reduced him to tears and dismissed his feelings as drama. The boy's mental health can be gauged from the fact that the FIR quotes the father as saying that they had mentioned this issue of their child's bullying several times to the school, but it wasn't addressed. The teachers, in fact, would keep threatening the boy by saying that they would call his parents and get his transfer certificate issued. The parents have gone on record to say that when their child told them about this repeatedly, and it had been happening for months, they would just tell him to hang on just a little bit longer as school was breaking soon, and then they would just change his school. But unfortunately, that's not how it panned out. The young lad, who I'm not naming as legally mandated, jumped to his death at the metro station. He was obviously very sensitive because in his note, he says that if the first responders were able to donate any part of his body, they should go ahead and do so. His father was out of town and he got a call from someone saying that his son was injured at the Rajendra Place station. The father told them to take him to the BL Kapoor hospital while informing his family to get to him. The doctors at BL Kapoor pronounced him dead on arrival. And so now the teachers have been suspended following the police case. But is there a larger problem here? There obviously is, because in the protest that took place in the city on Friday, several students of Columba's joined the protest to say that they too faced similar harassment or they had witnessed such harassment at the hands of the teachers. A colleague of mine who studied at the same school is shocked because he showed me a circular that had been sent to all sometime in 2005, which asked parents to attend a day-long seminar to deal with their ward stress and adolescent issues. So he can't understand how a sensitive school like that could do so. My child's school does the same too. They have workshops, counselors, just like at St. Columba's. The child who committed suicide is even reported to have gone and met the school counselor many times. So if everyone knew of his fragile state, why couldn't this be averted? It's a question that I don't have the answers to, and it is complicated. I can tell you, however, two things. One, the instances of student suicides has risen. As HT reported on Friday, NCRB's latest report says such deaths accounted for 8.1% of all the suicides in the country, and student suicides rose much faster than overall suicides in the country. Second, I can also tell you that boards like CBSE have a very clear guideline about what schools need to do, and that's why responding to a 9-year-old suicide in Jaipur recently, they have sent the school a notice. The investigation in that case found that parents and peers complained about bullying at the school, met with either indifference or even dismissive responses from teachers. Very similar to what just happened at Columbus. I'll post some of the links in the descriptor of the video that tells you who to reach out to in case your school isn't listening. But listen, this is the scariest bit, what I'm about to tell you next. According to psychologist Farah Kidwai, parents like you and me also need to do more. We have to accept that we may be sending our kids to the best schools and colleges which claim to have all these support systems, but these are at a nascent stage and the teachers may or may not be equipped to deal with such sensitive children or spot warning signs. She told me that children, when bullied like this, can either externalize their angst, in which case they act out, behave badly and cause harm to others. In extreme cases, it can lead to minors who may become serious juvenile offenders. But when bullied children internalize their angst, then they indulge in self-harm. That's when those closest to them, they have to just look out for warning signs, become their advocates against the world. Adolescence, said Farah Kidwai, is a period of stress and storm, and at the end of the day, no one needs exams to turn out okay. All that our children need are us as allies.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest newsmakers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the US will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.